Welcome to West Ohio Conversations. I'm media producer Brandon Abbott. Thank you for joining us for this year's Advent devotional series. Over the next few weeks, we'll be exploring the themes of hope, joy, love, and peace. In this episode, Reverend Dr. Rosario Picardo of Ginghamsburg United Methodist Church shares a message about hope.
My name is Rosario Picardo. My friends call me Roz, and I'm the executive pastor of New Church Development for Ginghamsburg Church. Since moving to Dayton, Ohio, I developed a fascination with the history of innovation that was birthed at the 20th century. The Wright brothers sparked something that became revolutionary. The brothers took on risk-taking stunts, paved the way for other inventors and entrepreneurs. That spirit of innovation didn't stop with the airplane, but included things like the cash register, ignitions for automobiles, pop-top beverage cans, electric wheelchairs, and the list goes on and on. The list is so extensive that in the early 20th century, Dayton had more patents per capita than any other city. It was the Silicon Valley of its day. But when you fast forward over 100 years later, Dayton is no longer the leader in innovation. In fact, in 2008, with the downfall of the recession, Dayton was named by Forbes magazine as one of the fastest dying cities in America. A few more years later, when I moved here in 2014, Dayton was named as one of the largest hubs for human trafficking in the United States because of the I-70-75 corridor. And in this past summer of 2017, Dayton was named the top spot of America's opioid epidemic. A city that prided itself on being a center of innovation has gradually become a place of despair. Despair has become all too common for many Daytonians when they think about their city, and some Americans as well when they notice the division in our own country. This despair becomes more evident during the holiday season. Our holidays have become ever more commercialized. The picture-perfect Thanksgiving and Christmas are what we get from a Hallmark special or Norman Rockwell card. But if your holidays are anything like mine, they're less sanitary, more closely resembling the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with the interesting relatives, overcrowded house, and more time traveling than anyone cares to do. While the world tells us we're about to enter the happiest time of the year, for some of us, it's the hardest time of the year. We face the pressure of knowing what to purchase family and friends without ruining our budget. The stress of traveling on the same roads and airways as millions of others. The loss of relationships or loved ones that hits especially hard during the holidays, and nostalgia about days gone by. If I'm honest with myself, there are times I feel the despair of my city, and even my own personal hurts. Growing up, everybody in my family used to come over to my mom and dad's house for Thanksgiving and Christmas. It was always entertaining watching my Sicilian parents trying to prepare an American meal. But what was more entertaining was watching my dad attempt to carve the turkey because he even put Clark Griswold to shame. But at every holiday meal, one thing is certain: we ate well. We were stuffed, and truth be told, we had to loosen our belts a few notches. And as we gathered around the table, we would retell some of the same family stories that we've heard for years. And of course, we watched football, and then we would do it all over again and eat one more time. This is how the first 30 or so years of my holidays were spent. They were great memories that were predictable, safe, and brought me comfort and joy. However, that all changed about 5 years ago when my dad passed away from Alzheimer's. The family house became a lot for my mom to manage on her own, and she decided to sell it and move into a small apartment. At that point, both of my sisters, who have their own families, decided to start their family traditions, which left us separated for the holidays. What once was is gone. There are times that the holiday season has brought about sadness, lament, despair, thinking about the way things used to be. My father died on March 17th, 2013. I do not doubt that he is with Jesus. But death and despair don't have to have the final word. The hope of Jesus does. 4 years later, God granted me a sign of hope in the birth of a child, my first child, Lily Catherine Picardo. Lily was born on March 17th, 2017, 4 years to the day my dad went to be with the Lord. As Lily was born, I felt like God was giving me a sign of hope to carry around with me for the rest of my life. It was in the birth of a child. And as I started to reflect about this, I thought about the birth of another child, born 2,000 years ago, that is a sign of hope for all of humanity. This, too, is a hope that all of us can carry during times of difficulty, despair, and pain. What areas of your life and world are full of despair? Is it death, divorce, debt, the loss of a friendship? The good news is God has given each of us an eternal hope that will never leave us and will never separate us from God's love. Like the old Christmas carol, O Holy Night, so eloquently puts it, the thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices. The world may be weary, but the hope of Christ is still present. It is only the hope of Christ in this Christ child that can turn a city around, that can overcome the heroin epidemic, that can end human trafficking, that can turn around an economy and whatever else opposes us. Hope in Jesus is the only thing that helps me to live a transformed life. Hope in Jesus is the only thing we can offer a world that is lost in despair. Allow this Advent season to be lived with hope that you may transform the world through Jesus Christ.
Thank you for listening. We hope you join us next week for a devotion on joy by West Ohio lay leader Mary Schumard. You can find all our past episodes posted on our website, westohioumc.org, or subscribe to West Ohio Conversations on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or Google Play. God bless.